Hello, my name is Susan Rushton, and this is Olio. Before we go any further, I need, as always, to explain what Olio means. It's short for olla podrida, which is Spanish for rotten bowl, and I just love that idea. It's a Spanish-Portuguese dish with essentially everything in the world in it, including pork in all its iterations, bacon, sausage, pig's ears, as well as chickpeas, cabbage, carrots, beans, onions, and garlic. And in essence, everything in the world, except cottage cheese and Cheerios. That's one definition. Another definition is that olio is what comes in between acts of a melodrama. So you might have somebody juggling, you might have somebody singing, you might have somebody doing a skit, and none of it has anything to do with anything else, and none of it has anything to do with the melodrama. So in other words, it's apples, oranges, and a monkey wrench. So welcome to my monkey wrench. Today, my guests are two women who are deeply involved with helping people. Beth Failer, thank you, Beth, welcome. And Pat Warren, thank you, Pat, and welcome. Beth, if you want to contact Beth about what we're talking about, her email is bethbetc.dar@gmail.com. And Pat Warren's is Pat MW, in other words, Pat MW at colfaxnet.com. These women are deeply involved with the Daughters of the American Revolution. So please, ladies, tell me what the Daughters of the American Revolution is involved with. What is it?
It's the DAR is the Daughters of the American Revolution, is a non-profit, non-political women's service organization which is focused on American history, education, and patriotism.
American history, education, and patriotism.
Members are lineal descendants of men and women who supported the cause of freedom in the Revolutionary War of 1776.
Wow. Okay. And you all have evidence that it goes back and even farther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I do. Well, and that's something Pat and I have been interested in, is what are your roots? What is your genealogy? And that led us to DAR.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So where did your relatives first appear in you know?
Yes. And what became the United States?
Yeah. Yeah.
My first relatives were in Jamestown.
Okay.
But those were some English relatives, and then my Dutch relatives appeared very shortly thereafter in New Amsterdam.
Wow.
And then,
which is where New York is?
Where New York is now, yes.
Okay.
They were Dutch. All of them were seeking freedom.
Okay.
So even then, long before 1776.
Okay, thank you. And what about your group, your family, Pat?
The ones I joined DAR through were in New Jersey, and they ended up with property because they served in the Revolutionary War in Maryland, and then they moved all over from there. But another one was from William Bradford from the Plymouth colony, and some of his descendants joined in the Revolutionary War also. So I have a couple of them that go that far back. So
yeah, okay. And how did you meet?
We met through DAR.
DAR. Okay. And how long have you been a member? Beth?
I've been more than 10 years.
More than 10 years?
Yeah.
I've been 12 years.
12 years, okay. And it sounds exciting in that there's this definite involvement in the past, and do you continue to learn more about yourselves?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
What we learn learn through DAR is about the present. We are involved in a number of things, including schools across the country, especially underserved schools in Appalachia. We support veterans all over the country and those who are deployed, including women veterans.
Wow.
So, and then we support Wreaths Across America, which is...
Wreaths Across America, I know that. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, which honors those who have served and are no longer with us.
Okay. And in particular, and I guess I'm assuming you see these pins that these ladies are wearing, these orange pins, SOLES, S-O-L-E-S, 4, numeral 4, so S-O-L-E-S, 4, numeral 4, S-O-U-L-S. So please tell me what Souls for Souls is.
Do you want to talk, or shall I?
You go ahead.
I happened to run into a number of young people right before the pandemic who were enthusiastically involved with Souls for Souls. They were collecting shoes for people who were in emergency situations, and then they were giving their time as young people and having a wonderful time serving others. I thought, this is a wonderful thing.
Were they involved with DAR?
The first group was, they were young men and women who were children or grandchildren of DAR members.
Okay.
But then it went on from there. Souls for Souls is not DAR related. We found them and we decided this was something we could do, just as those young people had done.
Wow. Okay.
And it was serving others, which is part of what we do at DAR.
Serving others. Yes. This sounds like a community. I just love the idea of a community, and there are so many communities in Auburn, and
Yes.
which makes it a fabulous place, because there's so much help, so many people helping others.
Yeah.
And certainly Souls for Souls. And so how does this work?
We tell people that we're in need of the new shoes or lightly used, and people bring them to us. It don't have to be DAR people, but anyone will bring them to us. And then Beth is to the chairman, and we go to her house, and we pack them in boxes and send them to Zappos.
Send them to where?
We send them to Souls for Souls. But Zappos, the shoe company Zappos, is paying the postage. So we have...
Oh, really? This shoe company is paying the postage?
Yes.
Oh my.
To get the shoes from us to Souls for Souls. So this is a wonderful community effort in a very large sense, where people here in Auburn or anywhere else in the country are collecting shoes. And they may be any kind of shoes. Boots or children's shoes, men's shoes, women's shoes.
High heels or not?
High heels or low heels. Flip-flops.
Flip-flops, yeah. Okay.
Tennis shoes, any kind of shoes. Except I guess we don't collect golf shoes. But otherwise...
Okay.
But otherwise, any kind of shoes can be made available for people who are in emergency situations. And that's what Souls for Souls does. They provide for people who have lost everything in a fire, an earthquake, a flood, anything like that. They are there. They're there to provide, because you can't go to work without shoes.
True. Yeah.
You can't find work if you have no shoes.
True.
You can't get to school if you have no shoes.
Yeah.
And shoes give a sense of vitality, and importance to a person. If you don't have shoes, you don't have much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to show you 2 pairs in this bag. I have one pair that it fit me when I bought them. And they're now dusty because they've been in my closet for a while, and I tried them on about a month ago. Oh, these hurt. They're not for me. And so I have a pair of this pair I'm giving to you today.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and they've never been outside the house. And the other one, this is my husband Don. I have another one in the bag, and you can you can sort of tell that they've been used and they've been walked on and they've been loved. Don said that these are the most comfortable shoes he's ever had.
Oh.
And he says they're tired, but they're still certainly usable.
Yes.
And I guess I'm seeing some dirtiness here, but these are still usable, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what happens when these shoes like this that are a little used, have a lot used, and clearly used? What happens with them?
Then they go to Souls for Souls. They'll be cleaned up some and given to somebody who really needs them.
Okay.
We know that floods are happening in the South. We know that hurricanes happen.
Mm-hmm.
We know that tornadoes happen.
We know that fires happen.
And fires.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they will be cleaned up and then distributed.
Okay. Clean as well as they can. Okay. Wonderful. I'll put this where we don't have any noise anymore. And so if you have shoes that you don't like anymore, and that still work, that don't have floppy bottoms,
Right.
and maybe they're not even stylish, but they fit. That's my husband's shoes were not really stylish, but he liked them.
Yeah. And we would gladly take them in. We'd be glad to send them.
Yeah, even though they're not stylish and brand new and shiny.
We have sent some shoes that are really outlandish. However, they can be used by someone.
Yeah.
For
Outlandish shoes. Okay.
I was thinking of someone like that. Say you're a dance teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and you have all kinds of shoes for dance, and they're all gone
Uh-huh.
because they've flown away in a hurricane
Yeah.
or a tornado.
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to reestablish your business
Mm-hmm.
without that pack of shoes? So even those that are not flip-flops and not tennis shoes, the ones we use every day, they still may be used by someone.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So there are lots of people who, just like you, who have a pair of shoes sitting in the closet that they just don't fit anymore, or they never fit. And I made a mistake. Oh dear.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's a place they can go where they'll be loved and appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this circle of you with shoes, giving them to this organization. We'll pack them up. I didn't tell you one of the essential ingredients to
We're
this.
going to hear one of the essential ingredients. What?
And that is taking the boxes to UPS, which then will take the shoes paid for by Zappos to Souls for Souls. So this is a whole bunch of organizations that have come together to do something that's very simple. It's just supplying shoes.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Yes. Yes.
because it's something we use every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's thrilling. And when you, and I can imagine that when you discovered this, you got chills.
I did.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. Because I could see if you have something that's simple that everybody can do, that will work, that will serve people. And since this is an organization that serves others, what a great way to do it.
Yes. How long has it been in existence? Souls for Souls.
Souls for Souls actually started in 2004
Okay.
when a shoe executive had a brilliant idea with the tsunami in Indonesia that killed so many people.
Yeah.
And in the same year, Hurricane Katrina came along, and there was an outpouring of shoes from shoe companies and individuals. There were 750,000 pairs of shoes that were sent to help people at Katrina. Yeah,
Wow.
because they realized everything was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we got interested in this as one small thing you can do. There are lots of small things you can do. Just being able to identify them and then carry it through.
Yes.
So our little group, this is a very small group of people. We have sent more than 3,000 pair of shoes to Souls for Souls.
Great.
Yes.
Do you ever hear back from Souls to Souls?
Yes, they have sent me a number of letters thanking us for our contribution. And then, of course, I have my buttons.
Your buttons. One of them is a shoe.
One of them is a shoe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But they've also sent me a book. There's a book called Shoestrings that was written by one of the people who got very involved in Souls for Souls. Souls for Souls does deal with also with clothing. We decided we do not want to do that. We want to focus on something that we can do, that we know works, and that we know we have the system to
Okay.
write it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And Pat, do you speak to other people, to other organizations about this?
No, we basically, Beth is our chairman for the committee for the Souls for Souls in our DAR chapter.
Okay.
And we just, if we know somebody, we ask if they have shoes that they, instead of throwing them away, to donate them, and we'll take them and pack them and send them to Souls for Souls. And that's basically how we get them. And we do our own, I don't know anybody else that's doing it besides our chapter right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
We talked to somebody at the bank, talked to a hairstylist, talked to anybody you know in the businesses that you see regularly.
Yeah.
So they remember us, which is wonderful because it's so simple.
Especially, I like Souls for Souls. That's fun.
Yes, I do too.
What happens if you want to donate Gently Worn or new shoes in Auburn? And I guess you pack them up and...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
How often do you do this? Pack them up?
About once a month or every other month we
Okay.
do this. We have a bunch waiting in my garage right now. But we will get together and for an hour or two we will pack shoes.
Pack them in... You have our boxes?
We save boxes. I mean, this is so much about recycling.
Oh, yes. Okay.
In a larger sense, we're saving shoes. We're using boxes that would otherwise be thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they get used again.
Are you in need of boxes?
Not this minute. But
Not this minute, but okay. Okay.
We look for boxes that are when they're filled, can be handled easily.
Sort of like sending books,
Yes,
because
that's
books are heavy.
Yes, yes, that's
Okay.
right.
All
Yeah.
right. So, if somebody has shoes that they, when, of course people have shoes, and of course people have shoes that you use a lot, but they also have shoes that they use very little, and you might want to get rid of them. So what do they do? What are they supposed to do? How do they get in touch with you?
They could contact either me or contact Pat
Okay.
or contact the website for DAR,
Okay.
or RDAR, auburn.californiadar.org.
auburn.californiadar.org. That's the DAR website. Or I could contact Beth, bethc.dar@gmail.com, or again, Pat Warren, patmw@colfaxnet.com, and you will, what happens?
Then we will pick up shoes, I guess.
Okay.
I know there's one place that we regularly service, and that's at the Auburn Senior Center.
Okay.
Has a box for a collection of shoes.
Oh, great.
We pick them up there.
The Senior Center in North Auburn, near Max's. Yeah. Okay. The sandwich place in North Auburn. Yeah. And they will and
A member of our group will pick them up
okay.
and bring them to me,
Yeah.
and then we'll box them up and send them off.
Great. Okay. What if somebody says, "How stupid! Why don't you just give them to the stores? Give them." Do they stay in the United States? Do they go elsewhere, or both?
A lot of them stay in the United States. Most of them stay in the United States.
Okay.
They also go to places like the Ukraine. Some do there.
Okay.
I've read that. I haven't talked to anybody about it, but I have read that. So, yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay. Yes. It's yeah. I love this idea. I think it's charming. It's powerful. It's very old-fashioned.
It is very old-fashioned.
Very old-fashioned. Saving shoes for people. There are no telephones involved in this. This is shoes, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And what you get from it is a feeling of being a part of a larger community and
Yeah.
of serving others. It's a good feeling.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me see.
You know you've made a difference when you have provided something for someone else.
Yes. And that's wonderful. So I have a question. Why do people donate shoes?
You've answered some of that yourself.
Yeah, I guess we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not all. It's why do people donate shoes? Because they just can't stand looking at them.
I'm tired of these shoes. Let somebody else get tired of them
Yes.
for a while.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, If so, Daughters of the American Revolution. Is this only for women?
Mostly.
Mostly,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it is. It's daughters.
Okay.
It is daughters.
Okay.
It's Daughters of the American Revolution. It's National Society Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, if you're interested in donating your shoes, or telling somebody else about it, log on to auburn.california.dar.org, or email Beth, BEFC.dar@gmail.com, or Pat, mw@colfaxnet.com. And I'm gonna look around and see if I have other shoes.
Thank you.
Way back there.
Thank
Back
you.
in the closet. Thank you very much for coming, and I appreciate what you're doing and your enthusiasm, and it's just charming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And thank you for watching.